If you're a fiend for sourdough on everything, extra crispiness, and saving a few bucks on custard, then Culver's has you covered. All you have to do is get a little creative with the menu. Did you know that you can get your fries extra crispy at Culver's? Not only that, the chain also allows you to get practically anything fried to a particularly crunchy crisp, if you just ask for it. Of course, you'll have more grease and calories to worry about, but that just comes with the territory at a fast food joint like Culver's. Some customers have even gone so far as having their fries fried at least 3 times over. We'll let you decide for yourself exactly how much you want your fries dunked into the fryer, but do keep in mind that too much of a good thing can eventually go sour. Also keep in mind that it takes extra time for the cooks to accommodate these special requests. And since everything is made fresh, be sure to be patient.
Crinkle-cut fries will make you do crazy things.
If you love a good root beer float but want to explore some new but similar avenues, then this next hack is for you. After all, there's no hard rule that says that root beer is the only soda you can use to make float magic happen. And at Culver's, there are ample opportunities to take a standard float to new heights. To execute this hack, simply ask for a float with your choice of carbonated beverage as a base, like Coke, Dr. Pepper, or even Mellow Yellow. And the fun doesn't have to stop there. You can also handpick the custard nestled inside for a truly tantalizing taste adventure. Word on the street is that the peach custard tastes great when plummeted in an ice-cold cup of Sprite. In case you haven't heard, Culver's lets you order any sandwich you want on sourdough bread. And that's wonderful news, as the chain sourdough is absolutely delightful. Anyone who's ever indulged in the sourdough melt already knows what's up. Turning this scrumptious bread into the backbone of any sandwich doesn't just elevate your meal, it also propels you into culinary dimensions you didn't even know existed. Ordering the crispy chicken on sourdough is one amazing option, while something as simple as a mushroom and Swiss also bursts with flavor. While Culver's grill cooks will absolutely dish up one of these sourdough sandwiches, you may not want to ask for this sort of customization during the busiest times. Doing so can cause service to flow even slower, so use your best judgment. If you're a loyal Culver's fan, you likely already know about the whole flavor of the day routine. But just in case you don't, here's the rundown. The chain features a special flavor of custard that changes every morning. Those scrumptious custards include the likes of lemon berry layer cake, really Reese's, and turtle. And that merely scratches the surface of the variety that Culver's offers. You can make the already delicious flavor of the day even more delicious by simply asking for 1 or 2 mix-ins to be added to your custard base. Considering Culver's extensive mix-in menu, just imagine all the wonderful creations you can come up with. But be aware that this could get messy, depending on which mix-ins you choose and which flavor you're attempting to upgrade, as some of them already contain plenty of mix-ins. But hey, sometimes when you're really hungry, things are just going to get a little messy. Those tantalizing flavor-of-the-day custard options we were just raving about? In a grand gesture of generosity, Culver's sweetens the deal by allowing customers to buy a little pint of heaven to take home with them without breaking the bank. Prices depend on location, but you can expect a standard scoop of the flavor-of-the-day custard to cost somewhere between $3 and $4, and that's just for a single scoop. What's amazing is that if you wait until the day after your favorite flavor is released, you can buy a whole pint of the stuff for around $5.50. You can also do the same with vanilla and chocolate flavors. Be aware that supplies may vary from location to location, as some Culver's may not have much or any custard left over to pint up for you the following day. On the other hand, some locations have loads of flavors stowed away, so it definitely won't be consistent across the board. But considering the price point, it's worth keeping an eye out for. Culver sells an undoubtedly delicious classic chocolate milkshake that comes pre-made in all of its delectable glory. But what you may not know is that this standard shake actually uses a blend of vanilla custard and chocolate syrup to achieve its chocolate flavor. So if you're a true chocoholic, we understand if this isn't quite hitting the spot. So to amp up the chocolate factor to dangerously decadent levels, simply request that the friendly Culver's crew replace the vanilla custard with chocolate. And don't let them forget the chocolate sauce. This is often referred to as an old-fashioned chocolate shake, although Culver's employees may or may not know what you're talking about if you use that term when ordering. The truth is simple. If you're a fan of deep chocolate flavors, then run, don't walk, to your nearest Culver's and try this hack now. There's no reason to experience chocolate FOMO when you've got an upgrade this simple at your disposal. If you're unfamiliar with the infamous Canadian treat known as poutine, then you're in for a treat. It might not be up everyone's alley, but poutine definitely has its loyal fans, who should be happy to know that it can be easily recreated at Culver's. You just need to be a little bit creative to pull it off. For anyone who's not aware, poutine is traditionally made with fries, gravy, and cheese curds. And thankfully, Culver's has all of these ingredients at the ready. So to order a poutine at Culver's, start with a bed of fries, then ask for cheese curds and gravy. There are actually a variety of ways to achieve your Culver's poutine. One option is to simply order a side of fries, a side of gravy, and a side of cheese curds before mixing it all together in a separate bowl. Another option is to order fries, a side of gravy, and a side of shredded cheddar cheese. No matter which way you achieve it, you'll be happy at the chance to recreate a little slice of the Great White North at Culver's.
Oh, Canada.
This next one could potentially get a little complicated, so please be kind to your local Culver's crew. If you're a fan of pretzel bites, then you should know that there are quite a few ways that you can customize them at Culver's. Traditionally, they come with creamy cheese to dip them in. And while that's all good and well, there are other ways to upgrade the flavor. For example, try swapping out the cheese dip for caramel sauce for a delightfully sweet treat. Or you could ask that your pretzels be sprinkled with cinnamon and sugar for a dessert-like spin on an already chewy and tasty snack. If you plan to use these hacks, make sure you specify that you don't want salt on your pretzels, unless of course you want a mix of salty and sweet. You'll also want to make sure that the cinnamon and sugar get sprinkled on as soon as the pretzel bites come out of the fryer. Word on the street is that 3 or 4 packets of sugar, along with the cinnamon, is the sweet spot. So give it a shot, and don't forget the side of caramel sauce. This next one's pretty easy, but that doesn't mean that it's not also delicious. If you love Culver's chili and cheese curds, then you can go ahead and smack the two together to create an awesomely tasty duo. Be careful though, as we can't recommend this mashup if you're watching your sodium intake. But if you have room to indulge, you can get chili cheese curds by simply ordering the cheese curds as you normally would, and requesting that your servers slap some chili on top.
Shut up and take my money!
Now, if you're a control freak and you want to dish up the precise amount of chili you want on your curds yourself, then by all means order the chili and curds separately. Either way, the result should be plenty delicious. Another way to make this hack happen is to order chili cheese fries and then upgrade them to cheese curds. You can also add shredded cheese on top, but because of the cheese from the curds, this additional level should only be reserved for the cheesiest of palates. You may have already had the pleasure of sampling a CurderBurger, but you should know that there's another way to enjoy the flavor of cheese curds atop a burger, even if the specialty item is no longer available at a location near you. The CurderBurger began as an April Fool's joke, but then fans went gaga for it, so it ended up on the menu for a limited time. It consisted of a burger patty graced with a thick, singular cheese curd, encompassing the surface of the patty. If you didn't have a chance to chow down on an official version of the CurderBurger before it disappeared, don't fret. As it turns out, you can easily make this food oddity yourself. To pull it off, simply order a cheeseburger and have the employees place cheese curds on top of the patty. To make it easier to eat, you'll want the curds placed directly on top of the cheese slice, as that will help hold the curds in place. And that's it. Now you've got a makeshift CurderBurger and the everlasting gratitude of your taste buds.
I would vote that it maybe becomes a more permanent thing as time goes on.
Yeah.
Move over, Burger King, as you can truly have it your way at Culver's as well. Up to this point, we've focused on food. But did you know that you can just as easily customize your beverages? Because Culver's offers so many delicious mix-ins, syrups, dips, custards, and sodas, it certainly makes sense that you could come up with something fun and creative in the beverage department. We don't have the time to cover every single possibility in this area, but we can definitely get your mouth watering with a few tasty ideas. For example, if you love tea, you can order one as you normally would, but ask for a scoop of strawberries to be added, along with your choice of strawberry or wildberry syrup. The same can also be done with lemonade. You could even add one of these syrups to a soda, perhaps strawberry and Sprite. Be warned, though, that it may come off as too sweet, depending on how heavily the employees pour it in. Other potential ideas include combining shake mix, coffee, and caramel all together for a makeshift coffee shake, or combining 2 shots of espresso with a small Coke to make a delicious Java soda hybrid. The world is truly your oyster when it comes to drink upgrades at Culver's. If you've got a smaller appetite, then here's a little trick that can help you get more bang for your buck. All you need to do is order a kid's meal with a drink. Make it a root beer and cash in a voucher for a free scoop of vanilla custard. Then, put the vanilla custard in the root beer, and now you've got yourself a small feast, complete with a root beer float, all for the price of a standard kids' meal. For even more decadence, try asking the staff to make your fries extra crispy, and add a side dish or two to round the meal out. And don't forget that you've got even more options when ordering a kids' meal than your standard burger. Choose from corn dogs, chicken tenders with a choice of dipping sauce, buffalo chicken tenders, or a grilled cheese. It's all fair game, and when your pockets are tight and your appetite is light, why not?